There is growing interest in the Pan-Africanist revolutionary Thomas Sankara, and it is important to take a minute to talk about who he was and the legacy that he left behind. Thomas Isidore Noel Sankara was born into the family of a Catholic couple in Upper Volta in 1949. Although his parents were middle class and he had a comfortable childhood, he started thinking about the high levels of poverty around him fairly early in his life. Due to his disciplined and pensive nature, his parents wanted him to be a Catholic priest. But he passed the entrance exam into the military academy at the age of 17, and that put paid to this dream. Going to the Kadiogo Military Academy changed his life. The academy's academic director, Adama Toure, introduced him to books about systems thinking, imperialism, and neocolonialism. After Kadiogo, Thomas Sankara continued his studies in Emia, Cameroon, and in Madagascar, where he read Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto for the first time. He also read books by Marx and Engels, Lenin, Trotsky, Fidel Castro, and other Marxists. Sankara first became popular in 1972 when his bravery in the border war with Mali endeared him to his fellow citizens. He was appointed commander of the Po Commando Training Academy in 1976. During this time, he formed the revolutionary military organization which studied Marxism and other progressive ideas in secret. In 1981, he was appointed a minister in the Saye Zerbo government. President Saye Zerbo did not like the way that Thomas Sankara encouraged journalists to publish stories about government corruption and fired him. That made him even more popular. In 1983, when Saye Zerbo's government was overthrown, Sankara was appointed Prime Minister in Jean-Baptiste Ouedraogo's government. Again, his eagerness to implement major reforms put him at odds with the president, and he was fired and then imprisoned. His friend Blaise Compaoré led a coup later that year and released him. This time, he was appointed President of the Republic. At last, he had the powers to change his country forever. Thomas Sankara then launched the Democratic and Popular Revolution, overseen by the Council for the Revolution at the top, and then the Committees for the Defense of the Revolution in neighborhoods, suburbs, and villages. Here had other reforms that he oversaw in 4 short years before he was assassinated in October 1987. Sankara promoted women's rights and organized marches encouraging men to do more household chores. The speech that he gave on International Women's Day on 8 March 1987 is still remembered to this day. He ended child marriage and female genital mutilation. He vaccinated 35% of the population against polio, meningitis, and measles in less than 2 weeks. He started building schools and health centers in every village of the country and tripled the number of teachers as well. He banned food imports and encouraged people to eat local. He encouraged every citizen to grow food, and he worked in the fields with farmers, encouraging ministers and senior officials in the civil service to do the same. Within 4 years, the UN confirmed that the country was food self-sufficient. To stop desertification, he led a campaign that successfully planted more than 10 million trees in less than 2 years. This is the single biggest tree planting campaign in Africa's history in such a short space of time. He encouraged the entire Sahel to build a tree wall to stop the encroaching Sahara Desert. He introduced public courts known as the People's Revolutionary Tribunals, where people judged police officers and civil servants accused of corruption. He encouraged his countrywomen and men to dress in clothes made with the local Faso-Danfani cloth. He asked that the main media shows be done in local languages. He also asked key public services to be provided in local languages. He changed the name of the country from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, the land of upright men. He cycled to work when he was minister and prime minister, and when he became president, He continued this trend as much as he could, and he also held on to his trusty Renault 5 rather than buy a flashy new car. Thomas Sankara believed deeply in self-reliance. His approach was to get each suburb and village to develop and own their own services and infrastructure and institutions. This approach in deep democracy is something that we have seen maybe only in Tanzania before or since. He was a true Pan-Africanist.